Application Bowery Cambridge LLC, doing business as the Sinclair. Joshua Body, manager, holder of an all-alcoholic beverages restaurant license at 50 Church Street, has applied for an alteration of premise to change the footprint of an existing point of service. Applicant is also applying to amend the ending hour of their live entertainment license from 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. Tuesday and Wednesday, and from 12:30 a.m. to 1:30 a.m. Thursday through Saturday. Good evening.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the Commission. For the record, James Rafferty, appearing on behalf of the licensee, Bowery Cambridge LLC. Seated to my right is Joshua Body, B-H-A-T-T-I. Mr. Body is the manager of record. As noted by Ms. Lent, there are two issues before the Commission by the applicant. One involves an alteration of the premises. When the establishment, I'm sure the Commission will recall, the establishment is located at 50 Church Street. It's primarily known as a restaurant and live music venue. The restaurant is a two-story space in the front of the building. At the time of the initial approval, there was a bar approved on the second floor, and the application to alter the premises allows for a modification in the geometry of that bar, or footprint of that bar. It's roughly in the same location. It has only been used as a service bar, and the proposal extends the bar slightly and adds 8 bar stools around the bar. And that's, as I said, that's the change of premises description. The second portion of the application involves the entertainment license. At the time the license was approved in January of 2012, the entertainment license were approved from midnight Sunday through Wednesday and until 12:30 Thursday through Saturday, and the night before a legal holiday. There was also a provision that up to 25 times per calendar year with prior notice to the License Commission, the entertainment could extend until 1 a.m. So the licensee has been in operation now for about 18 months and has worked.
No, 2.5 years.
2.5 years. Time flies.
Yeah.
2.5 years. The licensee has worked closely with Chief Boyer and the licensing authorities, and has had no incidents with regard to conduct of the operation of the entertainment license. So we felt it was an opportune time to request the Commission to consider an amendment, what essentially amounts to an amendment on the restriction on the 1 a.m. only 25 times a year. Mr. Body informs me that it's unlikely to represent a significant change in the way they operate the restaurant or the music venue, or in terms of the hours that the typical performance runs, but it does allow them the flexibility to do this without having to seek, or I should say inform the Commission every time they exercise this 25 time requirement. So currently they have to monitor the number of times, and candidly, Mr. Body informs me he doesn't think they've exceeded or don't have a huge demand to exceed the 25, but it's more of a, as I said, a flexibility to allow them to do it. So the proposed amended hours seek to essentially allow the later hours to go from to 1:30 Thursday through Saturday, and 1 a.m. on the first part of the week. It's a 2 a.m. alcohol license, but the entertainment licenses don't run concurrent with the alcohol license.
In terms of the alteration of premise, did you say that you were adding seats at the bar? I thought the seats were already there.
Well, the seats were there in the plan that was approved, but in the way the bar was built out and utilized, there weren't seats there.
Okay.
So, the alteration does include introduction of seats. I actually have a Xerox of what was approved and what's proposed. And you can see that in the approved plan, which is the pasted on version on the left, you can see there are seats there, but functionally it turned out exactly. And functionally it turned out to be only a service bar, and when they were doing some cosmetic renovations to the interior of the space. The decision was made to extend the bar in the fashion you see on the left.
So what was approved before, was it just the 5 seats? Because that's what I'm showing on the.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. What's on the image to the left that the commission's looking at is cut and pasted from the approved plan. But candidly, what was discovered, frankly, was that operationally, those seats were not placed there. The bar functioned as a service bar. So,
Actually, seats in the.
yeah.
It's not.
We're within the approved seats already, so that it doesn't change the.
Don't impact the seating.
Right.
Okay.
Remind me the total capacity of the Sinclair?
It's better, the
700.
That's what I thought.
right, it's 175 seats, 52 on an outdoor patio, standing room for 525.
So one of the concerns that we've had early on, particularly with there's quite a few large venues, given the proximity of the dimensions of Church Street, and we early on had to manage the ending of entertainment so that we didn't have mass crowds pouring onto Church Street at the same time. We're just kind of figuring out now with the change of hours, what's that look like with respect to the other venues that are on that street, and again, making sure that we can avoid having large numbers of people all coming onto the street at the same time, which has caused some problems in the past, so we try to avoid that. So the times you've run this late during those 25 times theoretically, what's that look like in terms of people coming out the street as compared to the other venues on that street? We expect we see people at the same time.
Yeah, I think with regards to the busiest other operator on the street that we've been there, I can speak to is Fire and Ice on the weekend, and they're a 2 a.m. license. So even that was kind of part of the thinking of going to 1:30 was we'll still be letting out half an hour before Fire.
Even with Fire and Ice, they had, if I recall correctly, 3 separate entertainment venues within the premise, either 3 or 2, and what we had to do is stagger their times of release so we could avoid. I think they had upwards of 350 people that were coming out on the street at the same time. Now you've got a venue of roughly 720.
Yep.
So I'm just trying to figure out how do you manage, or how, cooperatively you manage to make sure we don't have a situation where we have an inordinate number of people on the street and there's a lot of congestion and people just are staying around too long or causing a commotion because of the size of the crowd.
Yeah. I mean, we found that on the block, operationally speaking, the busiest time there was probably 2 to 2:30 a.m. mainly when Fire and Ice is letting out our concerts. I mean, even Sunday through Thursday, quite frankly, most of the bands want to be wrapped up a little earlier. I think the later hours are something that we'll probably use around that same 25 times a year. It was just the notification. I think one of the times that it came up when we were talking about the lateness of it was when power went out on the block, and all of a sudden we're there with the sold-out show, and we're up against a midnight curfew with the show. It's how do you maintain? Can you still do the show without giving that 2 weeks notice to the license commission on those exemptions? So I think operationally speaking, we see ourselves ending at 1:30 at the latest, and Fire and Ice is still till 2 a.m. So.
The Sunday, Monday hours are unchanged. The Tuesday, Wednesday hours, the request is to extend them by 30 minutes. And then the Thursday through Saturday hours also represent a 30-minute extension.
No, I get that. I'm just trying to figure out, again, do we start to collide with one another again? Is the problem, right?
So is it presently 12 a.m. on Tuesday, Wednesday, or 12:30?
No, currently it's, the current license is Sunday through Wednesday is 12 a.m. That's 12:30 Thursday through Saturday, but 25 times a year it can go to 1 a.m.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Any other questions?
Awesome.
Are there any members of the public that wish to be heard in this matter? Seeing none. I make a motion that we approve the, I think I'll do it as two separate motions. The first motion is, I make a motion that we approve the alteration of premise to change the footprint of an existing point of service bar. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And I'd like to make a motion that we approve the ending hour of their live entertainment license as requested, 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. Tuesday and Wednesday, and then from 12:30 to 1:30, Thursday through Saturday, with a review in 6 months. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.